Today you told me you are friend of Chisora.
Yes.
Why he can't speak about this fight with Tyson Fury? There's a gag
I
over
don't
there?
know. Yeah, I don't know what he meant by that. I mean, I'm not really involved with the fight. Like Derek's a friend. He's boxed on our shows, and we'll help him and we'll talk to him. But yes, he said that he's been gagged. He's not allowed to say certain things. But that's the worst thing you can do for Derek Chisora, because believe me, he'll say it. You know, whatever he's not allowed to say, he'll say. So we shall see.
I remember that Chisora told you that he deserves more like a tuna can. Do you remember?
Caviar.
Caviar. He
Caviar.
wanted
Yeah.
caviar. And
Yeah.
yeah. Do you help him with this fight?
He's making a couple of £1 million. You know, he's been. I mean, look, Derek Chisora has made so much money in the back end of his career. It's amazing, and he deserves it all because he's a warrior, you know. And he's getting a lot. Look, it's not his fault that Fury chose. Like in England, that fight is getting destroyed, you know. But look, Chisora just beat Pulev. Like it's just the fact that they've boxed twice already, and it was easy fights for Tyson Fury. That like when you make a trilogy, normally you make a trilogy because you've got Gallo against Estrada and it's against Chocolatito, and it's 1-1. Do you know what I mean? Morales against Barrera, you know, it's just like just great fights that you're desperate to see again. So this is just a bit weird. But I'm pleased for Derek. You know, he got a good payday, and he'll give it his best. Yeah, it was difficult. You know, look, it was never ideal coming off the Usyk defeat to fight Fury so quickly, but Joshua wanted to do it. The problem is, you know, Fury talks a lot on social media. He makes unrealistic demands for deadlines and sign the contract today. And I knew that he was always going to fight. Don't forget that when he was negotiating with Joshua, he was also negotiating with Derek Chisora. And when they told us the contract must be signed today, it was 3 weeks later that the Chisora fight got signed. So there was no need for a deadline. So I don't know what to believe, but what I do know is the communication was good with his team, and we hope that eventually in 2023 that fight can get made. But it's a tremendous fight, and you know Chisora's my friend, got the opportunity, so good luck to him.
Do you consider yourself like disappointed not to have this fight?
Yeah, I'm happy. My job, I work for Anthony Joshua. He's my boss. So whatever he tells me to do, I do. He told me I want to fight Tyson Fury. So we tried to make that happen. For me, coming off the defeat, I would still like him to work with his new team, get some confidence, you know, get active again. But at the same time, I do want to see him in the biggest fights. And Joshua against Fury, one of the biggest fights in boxing. Don't forget Joshua against Dillian White, big fight. But Joshua against Deontay Wilder may be the biggest fight in boxing. You know, I mean, it's one you just watch like that because someone is knocking someone out in that fight. And, you know, Joshua will be back very early next year now. And, you know, I want to see him get active.
The heavyweights right now are very, very good because you have Andy Ruiz searching for Wilder, for Joshua. It's a great fighter.
Yeah, Ruiz Wilder is a brilliant fight. You know, I really like Andy Ruiz. I thought he looked better against Ortiz. Good victory, and you know, I see him beating Deontay Wilder. But Wilder was good the other night. Helenius is, you know, maybe past his best, but still, Wilder is very dangerous. He's brilliant for the sport. And Andy Ruiz is a warrior, so he won't mind standing in front. You know, he has that low style that comes in over the top, and sometimes Wilder doesn't like that. A lot of the big heavyweights, and that's what Joshua struggled with. You know, I know he had him down, but you know, these small guys coming in, and I just think Wilder against Andy Ruiz is a brilliant fight, and hopefully we get to see it.
Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they've had 2 fights now. It's 1-1. I don't think it's a fight. You know, the second fight, Joshua won every round, but Andy Ruiz maybe wasn't at his best. But it's not a fight that we're looking at in the next 2 or 3 fights. But Joshua will fight anybody, and certainly if Andy Ruiz beats Deontay Wilder, then you know why not?
You are the only promoter that is looking to Mexico City as a venue of boxing. Do you consider to take here Andy Ruiz the possibility of a big fight here, maybe with the heavyweights?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the problem with coming to Mexico, and one of the reasons that promoters don't, is that you can't generate the big money on the gate, on the tickets, right? So they choose to go to Las Vegas, and you know. But for me, I mean, as a promoter, to do a Canelo Alvarez event in Mexico, you know, at Azteca or wherever, and to see that many people, like, that's a historic event. And I know Canelo would love to do that. You are, of course, walking away from massive gate and money in Las Vegas and etc. But I think it's very important to bring these fighters now to their hometowns. You know, you saw it with Estrada recently in Hermosillo. You see it with Mauricio Lara in Mexico City. You know, you've seen it with our other fighters in Tijuana. I think that the money that you lose on the gate is made up for in the atmosphere and the occasion, you know. And I think that in the past we've gone to different areas of Mexico with fighters that aren't from that area, you know. So, for example, we did Ray Martinez in Guadalajara. Well, really, Ray Martinez should be fighting in Mexico City, and when he does, it'll be crazy. You know, so I'd like to bring bigger fights. This is a big fight, but actually world championship fights more consistently. And Estrada was a good example of that. But it's difficult because you can't, you know, hit the same numbers that you can on the gate. But I think the atmosphere on TV, the energy, it's amazing.
Canelo Alvarez in Mexico City will be.
Yeah. But really, you know, Canelo has kind of reached the stage now where what is next? You know, what else can you do for your career and your legacy? For me, fighting internationally, not just in Mexico, but fighting in London, fighting in the Middle East, fighting in Japan, like wherever it's going to be, that is what all global great stars do. And for me to promote, to see that at the Azteca would just be, you know, that would be something very special. And like I said, it's difficult because as a fighter of his level, you have to accept you're going to make half the money that you would to do it in Las Vegas. But also, he's a very proud man, and I know that it would be emotionally, you know, special for him to bring a fight back to his people. There's some great fights. I mean, look, Devin Haney is. You know, Devin Haney gets criticism for being boring, but he is a brilliant fighter. Like, we've worked with him for a long time. He's so smart. He's very difficult to beat, and it's going to take someone special to beat him. Shakur Stevenson, you know, Tank maybe, but I don't think so. Ryan Garcia, I don't think so. But the biggest fight in the division by a mile is Tank against Ryan Garcia. Now, Lomachenko is a tremendous fighter. To us in boxing, Lomachenko against Haney is a great fight. It is a quarter of the fight of Tank against Ryan Garcia, because you have to understand the fan bases, the mixes of personality, you know, and Ryan Garcia brings a huge following into that fight away from boxing, and Gervonta Davis brings all of boxing and brings crowds, brings energy. It's a brilliant fight, and you know, I don't know how close it is. I hear, just like you hear, that it's close, but that is the fight for the division. Lomachenko Haney, great fight, not anywhere near as big as Tank against Ryan Garcia. For me, that's one of the biggest fights in the sport.
What will be the future of David Haney?
Yeah, for Devin, look, Devin, it's only a matter of time before Devin moves to 140, because when we were working with him, I knew how tough it was, but he's a extreme professional, right? So he's made the weight. I know it's been tough for him, but it's going to be very interesting now, because do you vacate and move to 140 and everyone will say you've run from Lomachenko, or do you stay and fight him at 135? And it's a 50-50 fight, right?
What do you think? Oh, sorry.
So I think that Top Rank also have some guys at 140. I mean, they lost Zepeda and they've lost the WBC title, but they do have Josh Taylor up there at 140. There's some other belts that are starting to become vacant. I hope that Devin Haney stays at 135 for one more against Lomachenko. I think it's a great fight for boxing, and I believe Devin Haney could win that fight.
What do you think that is the biggest fight right now in boxing?
To be honest, Joshua Wilder, Joshua Fury is always a huge fight. Joshua Wilder may be a bigger fight. You know, it's so exciting, that fight for the heavyweight division. And I believe you'll see that in 2023. Spence Crawford is the one that looks like it's never going to happen, and it's sad for boxing. Tank against Ryan Garcia. I think it's a massive fight. So there's three there. You know, I mean, you've got Estrada Chocolatito 3 coming up, another huge fight. So yeah, but I think Joshua Wilder, Spence Crawford, and Tank against Ryan Garcia.
Fury not in the mix?
Yeah, it's a big fight, and it may be bigger than Wilder, but I just think from a global, from an American, I just style-wise, everything. It's just a fight that you watch like that, just or like that, and that's what heavyweight boxing is all about.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe for more videos of your favorite fighters over here on Fight Up TV, and give us a follow online as well at Fight Up TV on Twitter and on Instagram. We appreciate it, guys.